teachers, what's something you did that went way outside your job description? We had one unspoken rule in our school kitchen: protect Miss Odile. She'd been running the cafeteria line for 19 years, a tiny Haitian woman who somehow learned every single kid's name by October. If a child came through the line looking miserable, she'd lean over the counter and ask about it, and half the time she'd slip them an extra roll like it was a state secret. She kept a shoebox in her office with granola bars for the kids who came in without breakfast, and she paid for those herself. Nobody asked her to, she just did it. She also fed us. Every Friday, a foil pan of griot or pumpkin soup showed up in the staff room, and there'd be a sticky note on top with a name on it for whoever'd had a rough week. So the morning she came in with her wrist wrapped and her sleeve pulled down over it and apologized for not making anything that week. The whole staff room went quiet. I asked what happened. She smiled and said she'd caught it in a car door. When one of the custodians asked about the bruise near her collarbone a few days later, it was a shelf that fell. Then it was the ice on her steps. In April, we all knew. Nobody said the word out loud, because saying it wrong can make things worse for the person you're trying to help, and every one of us knew that too. Two of the younger teachers wanted to go straight to her house. Our head custodian, a big quiet man named Errol, who'd been there almost as long as she had, told them absolutely not, that showing up angry would leave her alone in that house afterward, with a man who now had something to be angry about. Instead, Errol came up with something better. He found out from the office that her partner, Dwight, did handyman work and had been complaining about slow months, so Errol called him, said the school had a bunch of odd jobs, shelving, door hinges, a leaky sink in the annex, and asked if he wanted a few days of paid work. Dwight took it immediately. For 4 days, that man worked inside our building, and for 4 days, every single adult in that school made a point of being warm to him. Teachers stopped by to shake his hand. The gym teacher brought him coffee. The principal came down personally to thank him for his time. And in every one of those conversations, somebody found a way to mention Miss Odile. You know, she's basically the reason half these kids eat, one teacher told him, friendly as anything. We'd do anything for her here. Anything. Errol sat with him at lunch and talked, easy and slow, about how tight the staff was, how a school is a small town, how everyone notices everything, who comes in late, who looks tired, who's got a bruise they didn't have Friday. He said it all like small talk, patting Dwight's shoulder, refilling his coffee. The counselor mentioned, apropos of nothing, that she was a mandated reporter, and that so were all 31 adults in the building, and wasn't it interesting how the law worked? The office manager mentioned that her brother was a sergeant 2 towns over and came by sometimes. Nobody threatened him, not once. Nobody raised a voice or made a fist. That was the whole point. By day 3, Dwight had stopped making eye contact. On day 4, he finished the annex sink early and left without waiting for the last check. But the part that actually mattered, the part I think about, happened quietly alongside all that. Our counselor had spent those same 4 days sitting with Miss Odile after the lunch rush, not pushing, just being there, every day, until Odile started talking. By the end of that week, the counselor had helped her find a legal aid office and a women's advocate, and had gone with her to make the calls. Odile moved in with her cousin 2 weeks later. 3 of us helped her load boxes on a Saturday. Errol changed the locks at the cousin's place himself and wouldn't take a dime. She's still at that school. She still knows every kid's name by October, still keeps the granola bar shoebox, and Friday soup came back that spring, like nothing had ever interrupted it. It's not in anybody's job description to run a 4-day operation to get a coworker safely out of her own house. It's not in a custodian's job to invent work for a man just to keep him where 30 adults could look him in the eye. But that's the thing about a school. We spend all day teaching kids that they're supposed to look out for each other. Would have been pretty hollow if we didn't do it ourselves.